Moving day was supposed to mean peace and a fresh start. Amanda and I had chosen Maple Grove Estates because it looked safe, quiet, a place where the wounds of the past could finally close. 3 years earlier, she had lost her sister, Lisa, under circumstances that had never sat right with her. As an FBI agent specializing in financial crimes, Amanda had seen plenty of darkness in the world. Home was supposed to be the one place untouched by it. The moving truck had barely pulled away when I found the paper. It was a yellow police document tucked behind a shelf in the garage, a case closure report dated exactly 3 years earlier. My stomach knotted as I read the name, Lisa Rodriguez. Suicide. Investigation closed. Signed by Detective Jackson Miller. Lisa was Amanda's sister, but scribbled notes in the margins told a different story. Timestamps that didn't add up, and a phone number whose area code matched this neighborhood. I was still staring at the page when sharp heels clicked on our driveway. She appeared like a specter from a suburban nightmare. Diane Parker, mid-50s, platinum bob, cream blazer, eyes that missed nothing. She introduced herself as HOA president, extending a manicured hand while holding a binder thick enough to be a legal brief. Her gaze fell on the document in my hand, and for a split second, her mask slipped. Pupils widened, breath caught. Then, with practiced ease, she snapped a photo of the case number under the guise of checking her phone. Amanda stepped out just then, in jeans and a plain jacket, looking like any new neighbor. Diane's eyes studied her with surgical precision. The questions came fast. What do you do? Where did you live before? What kind of consulting exactly? It wasn't a conversation. It was an interrogation. Amanda stayed calm, calling her job financial consulting, which was technically true. But I could feel the tension humming in the air, the way Diane spoke about the previous owners, about Lisa's difficulties integrating. She knew exactly who Lisa was, and she wanted us to know she knew. That night, Amanda sat at our kitchen table, her FBI badge resting in the lamplight between us like a weapon. She's probing for weaknesses, Amanda said. Time to show her she picked the wrong family. Her plan was simple: reveal just enough authority to make Diane back off. I worried it would only paint a bigger target on her back, but Amanda's mind was made up. The next afternoon, she met Diane by our garage. From the window, I saw the exchange. Amanda steady, Diane circling her words like a predator. When Amanda finally said, "Amanda Rodriguez," I felt the shift in the air. Diane's smile hardened, her tone sharpened. "Rodriguez," she repeated, savoring the name. "Didn't we have a Rodriguez here before? Lisa, wasn't it? Such a tragic situation." Two predators, recognizing each other. The following days felt like war waged on invisible fronts. HOA notices citing violations that didn't exist, a $50,000 fence bill, fraud alerts freezing our accounts, city inspectors showing up at our door, all legal, none truly defensible, each one eating our time, energy, and savings. Neighbors who had smiled 2 days earlier now crossed the street to avoid us. Diane's campaign was brilliant in its cruelty, using the fear of property values, safety, and privacy to turn every resident against us. The HOA meeting sealed it. Diane presented edited photos, twisted statements, fabricated evidence. Amanda sat silent, professional, even as accusations flew. Intimidation, unauthorized surveillance, conflicts of interest. A retired attorney, Margaret Clark, seconded Diane's motion to begin removal proceedings. The vote was 31-12. My wife, an FBI agent, was branded a threat in our own neighborhood. But afterward, Margaret approached us with a troubled look. She'd re-examined the evidence. Metadata didn't match. Photos had been stitched together, audio edited. Her 30 years in corporate fraud screamed fabrication. "I think Lisa found the same thing," she whispered, and they silenced her for it. Amanda and I dug deeper. Lisa had left a safety deposit box filled with recordings, documents, photographs, harassment campaigns, fraudulent assessments, embezzled funds, names, dates, everything cataloged with the precision of a federal case file. She hadn't been just a victim. She'd been investigating, building her own case against Diane and Miller. Her last voicemail to Amanda was chilling. "If something happens to me, you'll have everything you need to prove this wasn't suicide. Don't let my death be for nothing." Amanda's grief became obsession. When the HOA orchestrated a flood of complaints that forced the Bureau to suspend her and seize her badge, she almost broke. One night, I found detailed plans for breaking into Miller's office. Surveillance notes, security diagrams, entry points. She was ready to throw away her career for revenge. We fought until her bracelet, Lisa's graduation gift, snapped and scattered across the floor like shattered promises. "You'll lose everything," I told her. For a long moment, I thought she'd crossed that line. Then she deleted the files and whispered, "Lisa wouldn't want me to become a criminal." That night, we picked up the broken pieces of the bracelet together, and Amanda chose law over vengeance. But Diane wasn't finished. She set up a live stream for her 127,000 followers, framing Amanda as a rogue agent with weapons in a quiet neighborhood. She dialed 911 on camera, claiming Amanda was impersonating law enforcement. Within minutes, police cars arrived, weapons drawn. I held my breath as Amanda calmly identified herself, producing her badge. Officer Rick Brennan recognized her immediately from task force work. His body cam captured the moment he saluted her. Professional respect between law enforcement. 42 seconds from the command to drop her weapon to the salute that went viral worldwide. Diane's trap collapsed on itself, and her audience turned against her in real time. She had just broadcast her own crime to over 100,000 people. Detective Miller tried to salvage control, arriving at our door with officers and threats of administrative punishment. But Amanda had been preparing for this for years. She handed him a federal folder packed with evidence, emails, payments, falsified reports, Lisa's final recordings. His face drained of color as she told him federal warrants would be executed at 0800 the next morning. He realized too late that Amanda hadn't been defending herself. She'd been building a case to destroy him. At dawn, federal agents swarmed Miller's office and Diane's house. Both were arrested on charges of fraud, conspiracy, corruption, and civil rights violations. Their empire of intimidation and financial exploitation crumbled overnight. 6 months later, the neighborhood was different. Margaret led reforms, creating transparency, oversight, and protections to ensure nothing like this could happen again. Diane was sentenced to 12 years, Miller 15. Restitution funds were distributed to the families they had ruined. Lisa was honored as a whistleblower whose death finally exposed the conspiracy. One afternoon, I saw Amanda by the mailbox of Diane's foreclosed house, now home to a young family. She installed a small plaque, "Lisa Rodriguez, social worker, sister, hero." Her death was not in vain. The new neighbor, a social worker herself, read it and said softly, "Thank you for making this community safe again." Amanda touched the bracelet we had repaired together, its silver links whole once more. She looked at me with a peace I hadn't seen in years. "Lisa would be proud," I told her. "She is proud," Amanda replied, and as I watched children play freely in the yard where fear once reigned, I knew she was right.